Sorry for being a bit late. It's
No,
a
don't
phone
worry,
call.
don't worry.
Yeah.
It's a busy time for you, obviously. Supernova's coming up.
Oh yeah, last few days. So yeah, I had a call with my dancers about some stuff, and like a lot of things unfinished, but hopefully it's gonna be fine
Uh,
by Thursday. Yeah.
And are you feeling okay? You feeling nervous?
I'm a bit excited, like of course excited, a bit nervous because it's always a competition and stuff. And but super excited because we put so much energy into that and a lot of work. So hopefully it's gonna be successful and good and exciting.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Um,
Thanks.
I would love if you could talk to me a little bit about Forever and like writing process and like how you came up with the song.
Oh, the song was written last summer. I remember like it was July 7th because I took some pictures on my phone in the studio. So it was during the time when I was in LA and I met this producer, PK. He is a producer that I know for like many years, but since I was in LA, I hit him up and we just set up the studio and I sent him like a mood board of what I wanna create, but I didn't have exact like melody or lyrics or something. So we were just like doing some like demos and we came up with this idea about Forever and yeah, that was it. That was super fast since he got like the first chords and the rhythm. Then I was just like writing the lyrics and melody, and in a few hours we almost created the song. So I'm super happy because I really like the vibe. It's a song that for me personally it's like this freedom vibe. I would like if I wouldn't be me, I would be listening to the song like in my happiest moments and like or when I want to remember those happiest moments. So it's like a soundtrack for something that you want to keep forever. So that was the meaning, and also I was inspired by everything that's going on in the world, especially like in the countries where I used to perform as well, and where my friends are still living in Ukraine, and not only that part of the world, but like in general, the last few years are like so crazy. Of course, like world has been crazy like all the time, but like last few years, like what's going on? So I think people also need to have those happy moments and like to have this sort of balance because it's really hard to cope with everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of feel good and escapist and really kind of quite a good sort of distraction, as you say, from all the kind of the tough stuff that's going on in the world just now. So, um, am I right in thinking like you were quite inspired by the 80s with this track? Like it's got quite like an 80s like synth vibe.
Oh yeah, that's for sure because I like 80s music and also 90s because that's when I was born like in 86, and then I remember my parents used to listen to that kind of music and I used to listen to that kind of music as well. But the funny thing was also the writing process was during the times when the Stranger Things came out
Okay.
last summer. So we were like chatting and fanning about did you see this new season of Stranger Things? And so we're like so into that, and we were talking about how great the music department did like for the Stranger Things. So they brought back all those, not all, but like few of those great 80s songs, and it was such a big trends everywhere. So everyone was doing TikToks with running up the hill. So it was also like that kind of moment when music actually has no time, and yeah, there are new trends and everything else, but there's always a good opportunity to go back in time and create something with that kind of inspiration.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because, previously we had a kind of disco revival about sort of 5, 6 years ago. then it's kind of gone into synth, and then you maybe go into kind of like 90s Europop, both
Oh
kind of
yeah,
come back. It's interesting.
I like it. And I like the house music vibe now. I always love the house music as well, and it's been like in and out in a long time. But now also like with Beyonce and Drake and a lot of other artists who are doing this house music stuff. It's also super great.
Um, so how are you feeling? We've kind of spoken a little bit about, you've done this before. Um, do you still get the same nerves, or are you kind of used to the process now?
Oh, I'm still like the same every year because it's I don't know, maybe there are some triggers in my mind that like that they are like activated during this whole process. But also every year is so much different because sometimes they change something in the format, and sometimes there are like different way how they choose the winner. And yeah, I've been there so many times, but it is what it is, and I really know that I know what's the goal. It's not like, oh, I don't have anything to do and like, oh, let's push myself in the fire and like just like sort of it's like sabotage yourself, because it's a joyful moment and I like to create. And especially right this year because we are doing so much stuff like with dancing and costumes and like the background stuff and lights and everything is like I'm not controlling that, but I'm just like taking care that everything is done like the way I want to do that. And it's a super creative process, but also of course I'm gonna be honest, it also creates a lot of stress and a lot of bad energy as well, because there are still like a lot of people out there who make fun of me, and I'm okay with jokes about myself, and I can laugh at myself, but at the end I want to set example for people to never give up. It sounds super cheesy, but like that's the thing that I see in people so many times, and also in my friend circles. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, I'm not good at this and that," but they don't do anything to get better or succeed. Like, and I think for one, it's like super fast. For somebody is like every journey is like a different journey. So if you want something, then you have to just like to work and never give up. So, but we'll see. Yeah, it's easy to talk about that, but like the end is like every year is maybe even harder and harder because you come back and then like the pressure is even bigger and bigger. But yeah.
I think you do already feel like part of the Eurovision family, and I know you've kind of delivered results before. You're a regular at
Oh yeah.
Supernova, so you're in the sort of Eurovision bubble already. But yeah, fingers crossed. This is a year. I'm so hopeful for Forever. I think it's going to do really
Thank
well.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Um, you mentioned obviously you're quite a perfectionist and you're interested in the lighting and the dancing. Can you give me any sort of like preview as to how it's going to look at the semi-final?
Oh, it's gonna be spacey. It's gonna be shiny, bright, and like it's gonna be super joyful, and we are having fun like on the stage. And um yeah, I will have some backup dancers as well on stage. And it's also it has like this a bit of retro vibe, but also it's a bit futuristic. So I just wanted to create not just like a performance where I like maybe like last year I was just like sort of standing and moving around, and it's like a bit boring to watch. But since this is Eurovision and since this is like the super upbeat song, I wanted to have like so much, maybe not too much action going on. I had like super crazy ideas, but I'm not that rich yet, so I didn't want to invest or find that kind of money just to create something like my own stage. But it's gonna be fun and hopefully outstanding, because it's also like competition. with other musicians from Latvia. So you have to like sort of deliver your vision, and I think Eurovision is good with like dancing and fun and show, and everything else. So hopefully we're gonna deliver that.
Yeah, I think like we love the ballads, but there's a real special place for like the up tempo, like the kind of like high energy sort of
It,
dance tracks as well.
and I think that's the also like the style of the song is, of course, it's not super revolutionary, because so many artists do that type of songs as well, like recently like Harry Styles and Zara Larsson now and The Weeknd. But I just think that's the vibe, and I have so many like big ideas for the big stage, but hopefully I can make them happen, yeah, this
Picturing you
year.
coming out like a rocket or something.
I'm sorry.
I'm picturing you coming out of a rocket now.
Yeah.
That's when the budget's really, really high.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously, you know, your other job, you work, you know, the X Factor Latvia, and you are the host, and it's quite a kind of a nice, comforting role. But then obviously Supernova comes along, and you're a contestant, and you're the one being judged. How does it feel like going from host to contestant?
It is very nerve-wracking, because I love my job at X Factor. I also get stressed about like going live, because the live show is live show, but it's like it's not the negative stress. It's like just this excitement. Of course, here in Supernova also is like this excitement, but also at the back of your mind, you're still think, oh, there's a jury, and there's like still people who gonna watch that and decide. So it is always super challenging to to be be your own as an artist as well, because you don't want to do something just because to be liked by someone, but then again you have to sort of find this balance. And but I never think about that when I write the song, because like this year as well, I wrote the song, but I was not thinking, oh, this should be like the Supernova song. Maybe I was like, maybe we'll see like in time what I'm gonna do with the song. And then I think that's the main thing is like, because there are so many generic things in the music industry, which is fine, and I've been there as well, like so many people come together, and then they're like thinking, oh, we should create a song today about this and that, and so it should be like that and that. But I the main thing for me in the music is like the melody, so that's what I want to create. And especially in a pop music, it should be like simple but also memorable and catchy. And so I did this year, and we'll see. I hope people gonna support me.
Yeah, I think you know all your entries have had really strong melodies, and you know there's been a real good range over your kind of your Supernova career. Um, do you think there are any that deserve a little bit more love? Maybe songs that you kind of look back on and think, "Oh, that entry was so good."
Oh, I was so like um confident with Impossible, because that was like it has like many layers of meanings as well, and was like super powerful and industrial and like sort of underground song. And I wrote this with Aminata, and also the guy who did production for this song, PK from LA. He did also that song in LA. And I remember that year I was walking in LA, and I was like, wow, this is such a good beat, and like everything is like, wow, this song should be like, wow, so big. But then of course, yeah, there are some things that you cannot predict, and like jury was not a fan of the song, and I also wasn't prepared for the live auditions, and that was the thing back in the day as well. So I was struggling a bit with that, And so it was like, oh, that's sad. Because we also shot the music video on the film, not like just a digital thing. And so it was a really nice concept and everything. And I had like the big staging, but that was just like, okay, somebody told it, just calm down.
I suppose you can look back on it as like as a great song in your career, like outside of Supernova. It's like you know you can still be proud of it. I suppose that's a nice thing.
Oh yeah, and I was really happy to work with Daminata because she's still like she believes in me and we support each other and she's like a good friend to me and that was a nice moment to create something again with her because we did another song years ago for my album and yeah she was like very supportive as well.
Um, so you mentioned album there. So I need to ask, when is the next Markus Riva album coming? Been a while.
Probably
This
this
year.
year because I don't have like any exact plans, but since I was doing some music last year in LA with my friend PK, we did a live a song which is also like a bit of like 2000s and 90s inspired. And so actually we have like a lot of songs that we created and hopefully I can go back to LA sometime this year and create some new material for the album and I hope it's gonna come out like a good, interesting pop fun music album. And also, I'm thinking about new songs in Latvian because I'm in Latvia, and so I have to create something for this market as well. And I love to make songs like in Latvian as well. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have so many ideas, and just need more time to make them happen.
So if you were to compile a greatest hits, what songs of yours would be like essential, like non-negotiable they have to feature?
Um, from my last from my previous yeah,
Yeah, any songs that you've recorded.
probably Take Me Down because that was such a huge song for me and you know also almost won the Supernova one time. Also, of course, like Impossible to Break because it's like my sort of anthem. It's who I am. I'm sometimes angry and sometimes like screaming inside, and but then you're like, I'm gonna prove something. And what else? Probably Forever because it's such a different vibe and different sound as well. Because also one of the reasons why I created this BPM like uh, song was because I heard like comments on my Instagram and or YouTube that oh he comes back all the time with the same song and like sort of so I wanted to switch everything up and like to create something super different and I hope I did. Also there are probably some songs in Russian that I did a few years ago with my Ukrainian friends and producers and Latvian songs and uh, Latvian version of last year's Supernova song, If You're Gonna Love Me. And yeah, there's probably a lot of songs.
Two discs.
Probably.
Um, so you're thinking of the end goal here is Eurovision, get through Supernova, hopefully get to Eurovision. Um, what are your favorite acts from the contest? I'm sure you've been asked this thousands of times, but who are the acts that are your kind of your top choices?
um, there are so many actually. Like every year, there are some songs and some artists that I look for after the competition, and sometimes on my New Music Friday release radar, I see some of them, and I really like the Italian guy Mahmood. I like his music and his vision of pop music, and it's also a bit underground, but also it's like catchy. And of course, Loreen is like, she's like the goddess or something. She creates like everything she does is like, oh wow, wow, wow. Maybe it's not everything is not like super mainstream or something, but I like that she can create something super mainstream and then something like what she really likes to create. What else? What else? What else? I mean, I'm amazed by Måneskin's success. It's like super crazy that those guys from Eurovision are taking over the world and like performing on um, American Music Awards, and they've been nominated for Grammy. And so it's like such a good thing also for Eurovision to for artists like me and for so many artists who want to be there one day, that it's like a great opportunity, because sometimes like people think about Eurovision as like cheesy contest for housewives and gays and stuff, but I think it's especially now like in 2023 and like last few years has been like with all the streaming and everything else, it's like that's why I really want to go there and experience that and use that for my growth and for professional growth. And also like I want to be there from to represent my country and like with my Latvian flag on my back. So it's a big event.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you mentioned that obviously like perception towards Eurovision is changing. I know here in the UK, there's a lot of people that kind of view it as a bit of a joke, and I think a lot of the
Yeah.
artists that kind of represented us, weren't really invested in Eurovision as a process until sort of last year, and then the public perception has really changed a lot with Sam Ryder and Maneskin and some really credible acts are having like amazing success from the contest.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely, yeah. And I think the stigma about Eurovision is changing. And I know some of my friends who are like judging Eurovision by the stupid Netflix movie, which is
Yeah.
funny movie, of course, but like it's not what the Eurovision is. And now it's like a great platform for artists to show what they are capable of.
Have you been to the UK before?
Oh yes, many times. Once when I finished high school, I was actually going to auditions to get into Royal Academy of Music
Okay.
for musical theater, but I didn't get in, of course, because the competition was super tough. And yeah, I've been there many times, and not that many times recently, but mostly it was London. And I had some really close friends living there, so I came there to visit them, and I shot some commercials there a few years ago. And yeah, such a lovely place, and it's probably on my bucket list this year to get to visit UK and London. And yeah, I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah, well, Liverpool is a good place to go round about May, so hopefully
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see you there. Um, I need to ask about your home country as well, Latvia. I've never actually been myself. I've
oh yeah.
got family that kind of visit Riga quite a lot. Where would you recommend for someone that hasn't visited Latvia to go to?
I think it's a great destination, especially from UK, because there are so many direct flights like every day. Not so many, but like every day there are a few, and it's a easy flight to Riga, and you can spend like a few days or at least like a weekend in Riga. Of course, the summertime is nice everywhere, and especially also like in Latvia when everything is like green, you can drive around and see the castles and green fields and the Baltic Sea is also such a great inspiration for me because I like to spend my 3 days like in summer by the beach, and I just go to some wild and silent beaches, not silent but like empty beaches, and just do nothing there and watch sunset or listen to music or write some music. So it's such a nice place, and also Latvian food. You have to taste it.
I feel the Latvian tourist board should give you some money to promote the
I
country.
hope that they better do that.
Yes, it's next project after Eurovision.
And actually, the airport, I mentioned you the flights, and the airport is like just 20 minutes from the city center, so it's super easy to come. And I remember that back in the days, I don't know, like 10 years ago, there were like a lot of British tourists coming to Riga for the weekend, and it's nice.
Hope they were well behaved.
Oh yeah.
Um, I would love to just kind of wrap up with a quick fire, getting to know Markus Riva round. So first thing that
Okay.
pops into your head, there's nothing
Uh-huh.
too tricky. Um,
Okay.
so favorite movie?
Babylon, because I just saw that like a week ago, and I was like, oh, this is a great movie.
Yeah, I need to catch it. Looks good. Um,
Yeah.
the last song you listened to?
It was Rita Ora, and the new song she
One.
released like a few days ago. Because I'm a big fan of Rita Ora, and I had a chance to open for her like when she had a concert in Latvia. So she's always in my heart. But the song is great. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, she knows how to release a bop. Um,
Yeah.
your all-time favorite singer?
Um, the weekend at the moment, yeah, yeah.
Banger or ballad?
Uh, Banger, yeah.
Biggest fear?
Oh, fear to stop making music.
Well, this leads on to my next one. Would you
Yeah.
choose music or fitness if you could only
Sorry.
choose one? Would you choose music or fitness if you could only choose
Oh,
one?
music.
Music.
Yeah, for sure.
Your top travel destination?
Probably Greece. Sorry, I didn't say UK, but
You
but
can't
I
beat
like Greece.
Mykonos.
Yeah, Greece. Maybe not only I'm not super big fan of Mykonos, but like in general, all those islands. My dream is like to travel all those bigger and smaller islands, and the water is great, and the food is so amazing there, and the sunsets and everything is like super nice.
Right. Favorite animal?
Tiger.
Your worst habit?
To wake up and like spend like 1 hour on my phone just doing nothing, not getting up.
And final question: who would play you in a film?
Brad Pitt.
Good choice.
Because
Um,
sometimes people say there are some maybe angles or some pictures that they say, "Oh, you look like a Brad Pitt." So, hey,
I mean,
Brad,
it's a
please.
good compliment. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Latvian Brad Pitt. Um, Thank you so much for talking, Marcus. And I really have my fingers crossed. I hope this is your year, and it's a great song, regardless of how it performed. So you should be really proud.
thank you so much, Andrew. It's a big pleasure to talk to you finally in Zoom at least, and thank you for all the support. I've seen you supporting me and my music. It means a lot because it's the world is so big, but also like it's not so easy for smaller independent artists like me and like so many other artists. So it's a good job that you're doing. So thank you so much.
Well, it's always exciting to get to like a Friday and like you check Spotify and you see a
Okay.
new song from you. So it's always a nice treat. So happy to
Awesome.
spread the word. Good
Thank you.
luck and thank you so much for chatting and go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Okay, speak to you later.
Yeah, talk to you
Bye bye.
soon.